All right, we're going to go ahead and get started then. I'm going to try this out as a live stream instead of recording a video. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mickey, and in
Transporter from dispatch. It is passenger mission waiting for you. The boarding will start as soon as you are at the boarding parking. Captain, we have opened the gates for boarding. The passengers are on their way. Transporter, boarding is complete. You can start your flight.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Papa Alpha Golf Golf Traffic Cessna 69er Papa Kilo Romeo, taking off runway 15 straight out departure.
Bon voyage, aircrew. We hope to see you again soon. Bon voyage, aircrew. We hope to see you again soon.
Anchorage Center Cessna 69er Papa Kilo Romeo is type Cessna Skyhawk 2 miles north of Papa Alpha Golf Golf 600 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna 69er Papa Kilo Romeo Anchorage Center. Squawk 4454.
Squawk 4454 Cessna Papa Kilo Romeo.
Cessna Papa Kilo Romeo radar contact 2 miles north of Papa Alpha Golf Golf 1,300 feet. Altimeter 30.11.
Roger Cessna Papa Kilo Romeo.
And welcome back to the channel, folks. Sorry about that. I did go through some procedures here and did not have any audio. So we'll go ahead and pick it up from here. I do apologize for that. First stream, so things like that are going to happen, I think. But anyway, we are heading out to PAEE from PAG on a very quick puddle jump type of delivery. Let's take a look at our NeoFly. I'm sorry, NeoFly. I keep calling it NavFly. But you can see we are moving from PAG to PAE with 2 passengers, $4,600, 39 nautical miles. This is the second leg in our trip from Alaska to puddle jump all the way down to Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, NeoFly. I keep calling it NavFly. But you can see we are moving from PAG to PAE with 2 passengers, $4,600, 39 nautical miles. This is Quite a beautiful area. All right, we'll bring the RPMs down on the jet, on the plane a little bit. Want to be around 2,300 or just somewhere in the green while maintaining around 100 knots flight speed, airspeed. Airspeed? Yeah. Okay, and with that, we're going to go ahead and do some configuration. While we're waiting, we're going to drop this down. We're going to drop this down to 900. Okay, I can figure out what I'm doing. And we're going to go ahead and put on VNav. So what this is going to do is when I get to the top of the descent, which will be a part of the approach, we'll reach there in approximately 10 minutes, 55 seconds. If you look down at the bottom right of the screen down here on the MFD top of descent, once we reach that top of descent, vertical navigation will begin to descend the plane down towards that 900 feet mark. Now, you may be asking if the top of descent is 1639, then why are we adding it down all the way to 900? That's because the GPS will not take you below that 1638, so you have to give it permission to go lower. Now we're looking at the flight plan, we can clearly see that are visual on 36, the final approach fix is looking for you to be at or near 852 feet. Now, we don't want to go below that, so we don't want to go 800 feet because then we're 50 feet low. We don't ever want to be low. It's never safe to be low. It's always safe to be just a little bit higher, at least in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if you're flying under power lines, maybe not, but we're not flying under power lines. So I think that's the best course of action here. So that's what we're going to do. And with that, I'm going to shut up now for a little bit. We have everything set up and ready to go. I'll come back with you when we get just a little closer to our approach. All right, we are fully out over the water now. Check Navigraph for how far out we are. It's one of the cool things I like about this. We'll go ahead and load it because we changed it. Hide this. Okay, so this is what I like about Navigraph. It's one of my favorite things. If you like to do VFR or anything like that, this bar down here will give you all sorts of information. Okay, so the difference between indicated altitude and above ground. What do we got? About 94, 97 feet, something like that, somewhere in there. Our headings, our GPS track, our bank angles, if we ever need to know that. Our distance, We got about 13.9 nautical miles left. Destination is about 7 minutes from now. That's pretty handy, especially when the flights are long or when you're starting to get close. If you look off into the distance there, you can see the airport that we're going to be running at. So this visual approach should take us right in. Virtual navigation should get us right in the neighborhood. Now, this does have RNAV, so I am going to throw on, I'm going to test out the approach button. If it does what I think it's going to do, it should kind of, if there's a glide slope available, it should pick it up and guide us right down into the runway. But if not, we'll just hand fly it down. It's not a big deal. We're doing a visual approach anyway, so that's why we're here. I think I said this last time, but you know, one of the things that is kind of bothersome about Microsoft Flight Simulator as a platform are the very poor camera controls. Yes, I know they have a drone, but what a pain in the butt. You could bind those things in X-Plane. You could bind all the different camera views, and there were cinematic views and things like that that made, you know, these cruising stints at least somewhat interesting. The only thing I got now is to sit here and kind of manually turn the mouse, and it's all jerky. It just doesn't feel very professional. So I know I said I was going to look up an add-on. I think it's probably high time I do that, but I'm not exactly sure what to even look for, to be perfectly honest with you. I went to this site, flightsim.to, and they have bundles of add-ons, and in the essentials one, there's a flight recorder of some sort, but I think that's data. I think that's flight data, so you can evaluate your performance as a pilot. And yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm looking for something to make these videos and these streams a little more interesting than flying in a straight line, because honestly, that's pretty much what you do in an airplane when you're done with the takeoff and you get the approach and everything configured. I know real airline pilots are working through tons of paperwork and things like that, but in the simulator, we don't have any such thing. So you just kind of sit here and wait, patiently or impatiently. And we're coming up on our top of descent, and from there we should be able to watch the flight control system, flight management system, whatever you want to call it. We should be able to watch that start to do its magic as far as altitude goes. Yep, there we go. VNAV just took over. We are now on our vertical path. So with that, since we are approaching top of descent, we are going to start descending. I am going to, let's see here, where is that button? I think it's this one. You can see the GP popped up on our PFD, our primary flight display. So that should help us pick up the slope on in. That's what this, this is our vertical pane right now, but you can see here we're at 852. It knows that 852 is the bottom because of the plane. And here we have picked up the glide path. I think it's called GP glide path. And since we do have the autopilot on and we are running in GPS mode, it is going to keep this little diamond pert near center, and you're going to see that our descent is going to be nice and gradual. So let's take a look over here. Yeah, okay, so this is something else I learned about these Garmin's, these G1000s. This is telling us what we need to have a comfortable approach. This is our descent in degrees. Usually this is populated too, so it will tell you over here in the primary display what your vertical speed should be as you descend, so that you're not killing your passengers. 3.2 nautical miles out. We're just going to let this thing glide itself right down in. We're going to draw back the power. We're going to throw in 1 notch of flaps. I really have to figure out how to get rid of those things. And we want to stay somewhere in the neighborhood. I believe is it 80, like 84, 85 miles per hour to prevent stall. No, it's lower than that. It's 70 something, I think. Is it the G, I believe. Well, we're going to find out. Y is the most efficient ascent or climb.
500.
One of those is the rotation speed. But I don't remember which they are. I think the bottom one, yeah, that looks like an R. That's probably rotation. All right, 350 feet per minute. You can see the diamond is right in the center of the display. So we are coming in at almost a perfect angle. It's not going to be completely perfect. There's more accurate approaches than this sort of thing. But hey, you know what? It gets us right in there. Let's go ahead and give it some throttle so we don't stall out. Keep it right in that 66, 65 mark if we can. One last notch of flaps. And let's take the throttle out. Still on autopilot. All right, let's drop the autopilot out. We want to land down nice and easy.
Transporter from dispatch. Nice landing. Go to the parking and put your parking brake on. I'll be in touch.
All right, there's parking over there, so let's get down to a
Contact
decent
ground
taxi
for parking
speed.
assignment, then shut down your engine.
Just some general parking here. Guessing this is where they want us, where the ground crew is.
Papa
And
Alpha
stop.
Echo Echo traffic Cessna 69er Papa Kilo Romeo is clear of the runway.
Let's go ahead and shut the
Alpha
aircraft
Echo
down.
Echo traffic Cessna 69er
Okay,
Papa
pilot.
Kilo
The guests
Romeo
are leaving
is
the
clear of
aircraft
runway.
now.
Got all this business down. Okay. It's not going to let me do that. But that does conclude the stream for today. This was more of a test stream than anything. So I do apologize for the issue in the beginning with the audio. If you heard any snoring, I promise you that was definitely not my wife. Definitely not my wife. We'll blame it on the French Bulldog. But anyway, we are parked here in PAEE. Before we go ahead and jump out, though, let's go ahead and take a look
Transporter
at
from dispatch. Everyone is on the bus.
NeoFly.
Check that they haven't forgotten anything. Have a nice day.
And you can see we have now landed in PAE. We left out of PAG.
You can start your engine now.
Yep, we're not going to do that. So our payment for the flight was $46.29. XP for the passengers, a bonus of 5. The payload realism XP granted at the end of the flight. That's always cool to see. And the negative stuff, we paid $203 in airport fees. We used 36 pounds of fuel, and we paid $148 in rented aircraft costs. So we are climbing up there. In the next episode, we will hop back in and start making our way further to the east towards the Cook Inlet, and hopefully we will puddle jump across there. It looks like we have a pretty decent size lake, system of finger lakes maybe. The Wood Tikshik, something like that, state park. We're going to fly through there. We'll probably end up taking some kind of a job in there the next time. But at any rate, thanks for stopping in. Again, apologies for the voice issue at the beginning. We'll get this all sorted out. We'll get it fixed up, and hopefully we'll get some people in here taking a look at NeoFly and Flight Simulator as a whole. Before I sign off here, I just want to remind everyone, you do not need to spend tons of money on this. I have a cheap Acer 32-inch monitor, 60 hertz refresh rate. Okay, I have a Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTUS 4, the one for the PlayStation, like $50 stick and throttle, and like an $80 or $90 monitor. Now, you do need a relatively decent computer in order to run this on high settings. I have mine on fairly high settings. So there is that, but I want everyone to understand that they can approach flight simming without tons of money. I did it, and it's actually really fun. Even if you don't know anything about airplanes like me, I don't know anything about piloting. I'm hoping to learn through doing this, though. I've been doing lots of research, watching lots of videos. It's kind of funny how that happens. But yeah, I encourage you, go out and give it a shot. Get yourself a cheap stick and throttle, and don't let people tell you that you can't do this on less than 144 hertz monitor. You absolutely can. Most TVs, unless they're paying big bucks for them, most TVs are only 60 hertz refresh rate. And can you even tell the difference? You're still watching it, right? So go ahead, go out there and fly somewhere interesting, learn something cool, and I will see you.